In the dense, foreboding fog of the wheat-filled plains, where rusted machinery lies abandoned and shadows twist with sinister intent, we find ourselves at the heart of a perilous game. Welcome to National Sweatographic, where we analyze the toxic specimen out in the wild. Today, we delve into Coldwind Farm, where the only thing that grows here is your anxiety and maybe the occasional killer's ego. In this twisted landscape, the harvest is fear, and the only thing ripe for the picking is your sense of security. Dwight, a species known for its acute sense of self-preservation, is in a state we call hibernation. Tucked away inside a creaky old locker, this behavior is a survival mechanism, allowing Dwight to escape the attention of the dangerous predators that roam these lands. What you're witnessing is the animal begin its daily commute, ready to start another day within the trials. And the warm landscape welcomes our energized friend, ready to take on the world. The Dwight discovers a totem, carefully dismantling its eerie components. Its hands move swiftly but cautiously, knowing that each second spent cleansing the totem could mean the difference between a generator getting finished or not. Generators are essential components for the survival of wild Dwights. These hulking machines are the key to escape, representing the only way to power the gates that lead to freedom. For Dwight, repairing generators is more than just a task. It's a lifeline. The organism cheers, perhaps excited that its one and only task has been completed. But unbeknownst to this poor Dwight is what lurks within the draped corners of the realm. In the parallel world, known as the Upside Down, life exists in a perpetual state of decay. The air is thick with spores, and the once familiar landscape is now overgrown with the withering hopes and dreams of survivor manes. Leaving its home, the Demogorgon senses prey and begins its lethal pursuit in hopes of catching a wild Dwight. The Demogorgon has excellent tracking abilities and believes that the Dwight may be hiding in the worn-down enclosure named the Shack. But, unbeknownst to our predator, the prey was simply taking a nap in the adjacent locker. And thus, the chase finally begins. The prey maneuvers around the structure, making its way to a wild pallet, and surprises the beast in the process. This only but angers the Demogorgon, believing that it is being toyed with. After briefly breaking off of the chase, we follow as our Dwight begins working on another generator. This proves to be an excellent pastime for prey, waiting for predators to initiate another hunt. The two organisms chase around a tree, both sides showcasing futile signs of intelligence in regards to hunting and escaping. Common prey utilize these wild pallets as a mean of creating distance. But highlighting the cruel limits of reality, the predator finally makes the lunge and secures its dinner. In a show of dominance, the Demogorgon humps the Dwight, marking its territory. After witnessing that, my dear viewer, let a precedent be set. The hunters within the trials always capture their prey. Demogorgons are a fascinating example of this, as are the rest coming up next. Welcome to the Raccoon City Police Department, where the only thing under arrest is your looping skills. RPD is a vast, imposing structure with grand architecture now crumbling under the weight of neglect, its marbled floors marred by the traces of past atrocities. Good luck finding an exit. This building has more dead ends than the Halloween reboot trilogy. Enter the Nemesis, the ultimate relentless pursuer. What you're witnessing is the Nemesis ignoring prey, specifically an elusive Claire Redfield as it throws itself towards the beast. Ignoring them, the Nemesis continues its pursuit for the nervous Jill Valentine. Missing both strikes, The predator seems nervous itself, almost as if it's doubting its ability to hunt, or rather tunnel this gill. Sweatologists describe tunneling as when a predator only sees one target in front of them, ignoring all other animals within the vicinity in a vulgar strive to catch one and only one specimen. Nemesises are notorious for this, being one of their defining traits, without a single known instance of them not tunneling their prey. Sweatologists aren't sure why this behavior is so consistent, but a leading theory is that it just works. Striking an assist with another killer, the Nemesis finally downs the gill after a swift 15-minute chase. It nods in approval. After hooking the prey, the beast finds a safe place to watch, a snug corner to camp. Camping is equally as common as tunneling for Nemesises. The Nemesis stands vigil, towering like a grotesque bouncer who's taken their job a bit too seriously. Contemplating their choices, the Claire understands a patient predator is feasting on their own blood and kin. Thinking it'd be funny to unhook their friend, the Claire moves in whilst the balding pursuer is ready to strike at any given moment. Testing the waters, they go in for the save, only to be swiped at by the Nemesis, finally breaking its own rule of tunneling. As a warning to our viewers, what you are about to witness is very graphic in nature. The Claire successfully unhooks, but the Jill Valentine is once again teamed up on by two different predators. Heartbreaking for the prey, but excellent for the Nemesis. And thus we watch as the prey scrambles on the ground in a beg of mercy. In the relentless march of time, life consumes itself, each birth merely a prelude to death. Every death a seed for new life, an unyielding cycle as ancient as the stars, inescapable and indifferent to the cries of those it sustains. No one escapes death, and the cycle of which we witness must continue. We've covered two different hunting strategies in today's episode of National Sweatographic, from approaching the chase head-on to calculatedly standing still, but in a nightmarish turn of events. Have you ever seen predators and prey formulate a bond? The Sable smacks and taps the buttocks of the Xenomorph, showing respect towards the stronger creature. Both nod in this consensual display, a rarity within the trials. Now that is the content you all have subscribed for. On a more realistic note, the Sable ward understands that they'll probably end up being lunch for the beast, thus leading to this incredible show of craftsmanship and courage within the basement region. The Xenomorph wonders where their bride went, and thus begins to investigate the area. Little do they know what's waiting for them at the bottom of those steps. And upon laying one finger into the basement, the Xenomorph is greeted to a mass of flames, burning their skin and breaking the facade of trust shown only minutes before. It angrily stomps further into hell, destroying each turret one by one. In that moment, the bond that once linked predator and prey is obliterated, leaving only the remnants of a broken heart and a massive butt, showing a grim testament to the futility of their prior twisted alliance. And as you can see here, my dear viewer, the Sable beckons to the opposing organism, perhaps begging for, oh sh**. And there you have it. Proof that when it comes to beasts of prey, it's not about how many teeth you have, but how many survivors you can make sweat. Whether it's a Demogorgon's relentless chase, Nemesis's tentacle therapy, or a Xenomorph's knack for enticement and entrapment, one thing's for sure. In the world of National Sweatographic, the real endangered species is our peace of mind. And Freddy Krueger's too.